Alright, up next we got Kingdom-2 Crowns. And this is a side-scrolling city builder. It's in the 8-bit style, and it's for anyone who likes to basically build up a town, do it on their own pace, explore, kind of explore a new world and new little mysteries that pop up in it. You're slowly expanding to each side. Every night, these monsters come out and they try to destroy your town and attack your people. If you get caught by them, they steal your gold. And they're just there to thwart you. You're actually trying to destroy the monsters, but it's very, it's as simple as it gets for gameplay. There's literally only 3 buttons you push through the entire game. It's A, S, D. A and D are obviously your left and your right, and then the S is to use your gold or drop your gold, and that's the extent of the game. And basically, that's the whole point of it, is to acquire all this gold and build up your town. With the sound and the graphics and the ambience of the game, I think it really works well together. There's nothing overcomplicated about it, but I mean, that's part of its charm. I mean, this is just a game I can see people coming back to when they're bored and they haven't touched it for like a year. If you just want some mind-numbing sort of game while you're watching, Netflix in the background, this right here, this is your game. I really like this game. I probably lost the most amount of time in it on the first three that I basically reviewed. I don't know, I just found it kind of soothing. I didn't have to think too hard. It was just a fun game. Now, the price tag on this game is $22.79. I can't warrant that kind of price tag on this level of a game, but I think it's steep. As for your Humble Bundle pick, if you're into this, I would highly recommend it. In the lower tier, that I would say yes, this is worth your pick.
All right, everybody, welcome. It's time to wrestle. It's WWE 2K1. 2K1. And you know what? I was excited for it. The last time I played a wrestling game must have been 15 years ago, and I always played Undertaker. So when I saw Undertaker in this one, I definitely went in there and chose him. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about all the females I chose and how much they all look the same. If this is a WWE game and that's the title, like the copyright of it, how come nobody in the game looks like the wrestler that they're supposed to be? For the girls match, they all look the same. All the mechanics are the same. Nothing really identifies them from it. The only difference is that my player has a shirt that says fearless, but it honestly could have said braless and it would have been the same thing. Whereas the males, as in the show, Undertaker, there's the Big Show is in this, even a bunch of new wrestlers that I have no clue on. I went down the line even looking for Hulk Hogan, but you can't really get Hulk Hogan at the start, and everybody expects that. You just wrestle, you find your biggest icon. You can go from being the novice to the world champion. You can get into doing Royal Rumbles, cage matches, everything that you like with wrestling. That if you watched it, I stuck with the keyboard during this entire game. I stayed away from the controller just to see how it would work with it. Who is this for? The wrestling fans out there, of course it is. I don't think anybody else would pick up this game. The graphics, okay. The graphics are not 2021 for sure. These graphics are 2010. Everybody's a cartoon in it, and it's a pretty basic at that. If you watch my gameplay, it becomes not sophistication, more like button mashing, going through it. And does it have replayability on it? Yeah, maybe if a bunch of my friends came over and we're all getting into some drinks and some trash talk and we wanted to play each other. The cost of the game is, and it has microtransactions in it. So I would give this game a pass. It's not something you'd buy. And if you want to play a multiplayer game, like we've said, play Mario Kart instead.
Next up, we have Peaky Blinders. This is based off the hit TV show, Old England, where... Is it Old England? Where they're basically, you know, they're a bunch of gangs, and they're families, and they're taking over the city. Anyways, what type of game is it? It's a third-person stealth-style puzzle game. Who is it for? It's for anyone who's interested in multi-level puzzles with some cool mechanics and really making you work and making you think. The gameplay of this game is really interesting. I thought, and I could be wrong, I haven't seen this in another game before. So the whole premise behind it is turning back time. You work with one character, you complete some part of that quest with the character, and then you turn back time, then you use another character to do something that interacts with the character you used before. It is very interesting for a game. I thought it was super well done as well. As for complexity and depth, wow. This game had me stumped a few times. Now, I haven't been through it yet completely, but it had me going. I don't think there's a proper way to do everything, but there might be. And it's just the whole turning back time to make things work. It had me going back to the beginning a few times where I thought I had it all right. No, I didn't have it right. I had to go back. And the nice thing about it is each player has their own ability. So, you know, Liam, I think his name's Liam. Liam there, he can coerce people to do stuff for him. His other brother can knock people out. The little kid can get through holes. His sister can distract guards. It just makes it very intriguing the way the gameplay is set up and how complex and depth the actual game is. Graphics-wise, I mean, it's nothing phenomenal. You're not gonna... I mean, the graphics work for what it's trying to do. I think they're great. It's not game-blowing. Replayability hook on this game, there's no replayability as far as I'm concerned. As soon as you find out how to beat the puzzle, that's how you beat the puzzle. Maybe you'll try and get a better time, but that's it. The only thing I would say about this is do not go online and look how to beat puzzles. Don't even purchase the game if that's what you're going to do, because that's what it's all about, is trying to solve these puzzles. And once you know how it's done, once you know how the whole level works, it's easy. My overall opinion of the game, I think this is a great game. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I am going to come back to this game. Do you like strategy? Do you like puzzles? Do you like a cool mechanic with time travel, you know, time warp, and working with multiple characters? This game's for you. I give it a solid 7.5, maybe even an 8 out of 10. It is missing, you know, some of the action, but I mean, that's forgivable. I enjoyed it. I'm coming back to it. I'm gonna play it again. I love the puzzles in it, and the gameplay was just fantastic.
Would you say another game like this is like Hitman?
No. I would say it's like... but it's not even like that. I guess you could kind of call it Hitman. The thing is, the difference with Hitman is there are a lot of ways to finish the quest. This one, there's probably only a few. I would compare it more to that. There was an army game where you played army soldiers and you had to go around with it on the old computer games. Can't remember what it's called. Valiant. The regular price for this game is $28.99. It seems about right. You know, it's where this game falls short is the lack of content. There are 10 missions. There are 10 puzzles. That's it. You have 10. Some take marginally longer than others, but the content of this game, there should be more. But for $28 and the amount of effort and, you know, polish they put into this game, I would recommend this game. And is it worth your humble pick? I say yes.